another episode of Feel Good with Jaxson. And guess what? I'm Jaxson. Ha! So, today we're going to speak to Marc Zimmerman. And he's the owner of Social Express. And today's episode is about helping parents teach their kids right from wrong. And it's going to start right now. Hey, Marc Zimmerman. Thank you so much for joining me in my episode of Feel Good with Jaxson. And today's episode is about helping kids learn right from wrong.
First of all, I just want to say thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be on your show. I watch all your shows and I'm really excited to be here. So thank you for having me.
What is a conscience?
We all have little voices that we hear in our head that tell us when we may be doing something wrong or we may be doing something right. And it's important that we listen to these little voices in our head, and that will help us always do the right thing. So your conscience is something that you only hear it. I don't hear your conscience, only you hear it. So you always want to try to do the right thing and listen to that little voice in your head.
Tell me a few things how to teach kids right from wrong.
I think the most important thing to teach kids right from wrong is as adults that kids can see us doing the right things versus the wrong things. So like a good example would be if you are out shopping and you have something in your cart, but the person's charging you doesn't see that, you should tell the person, hey, there's something on the bottom of my cart I want you to charge, like a thing of toilet paper or paper towels. So always showing kids the right way of doing things is really important. Another way that we can teach kids right from wrong is when they're playing together. When you're playing with Maya and you have conflict with her, it's important that we teach you what to say and what to do and how to act properly so you can work out problems with each other. Because sometimes kids just don't know the right words to say, and it's important that we help you and teach you the right words to say when you have a problem with somebody else, like a friend.
What do you think is the best way to take responsibility to your own mistakes?
The best way is to always admit when you're wrong. Sometimes it doesn't feel good to say, I was wrong. We all want to be right. Being right feels good. But sometimes when you're wrong, it's important that you admit it and you acknowledge that you were wrong. And that way you'll feel really good. And you know what?
What?
You'll learn a lesson. And when you learn a lesson by admitting that you did something wrong, you won't do it again. Most people don't make the same mistake over and over again. Once they know that they did something wrong, they won't repeat it. So it's important that you admit it, and say, I'm sorry. And I'm sorry because I did this or I did that. So just saying you're sorry doesn't always mean anything. You have to really feel it in your heart that you did something wrong, and then you admit that you were wrong. And that is really powerful.
Thank you. I read today one way to help kids on empathy. So, Marc, what is empathy?
Empathy is when you think of somebody else and how they feel. So let's have an example. You just met a friend and dad and mom got you some ice cream and your friend doesn't have any ice cream. And you have to choose, do I eat the ice cream all by myself in front of my friend? Or maybe I can think that she may want some ice cream and I'm gonna break it in half and I'm gonna share my ice cream with my friend. And then guess what?
What?
Everybody's happy. But the thing is that you thought of somebody else's feelings. And empathy is when you look at somebody else and you figure out how are they feeling, and you try to understand how they're feeling and how your behavior will affect how they feel. And you should feel that it's really important that you understand how they feel, because not everyone is always going to be in a good mood. People can be sad, they can be happy, they can be frustrated. And when you understand how they feel, you can be a better friend.
I think that's great. How can you help if your other friend is doing the good thing and the other friend of him is doing the bad thing.
That's a really tough thing to be able to juggle, right? Because you want to tell your friend he's doing a bad thing, but you also want to join him because he's your friend, right? So you want to do something bad, but that's where your conscience comes in. You have to listen to that little voice and you have to say, this isn't the right thing to do. And you have to be really brave, and you have to help your friend and tell him, this is not right what we're doing or what you're doing. And you have to explain to him why it's wrong. And once they understand what they're doing wrong, they won't do it anymore. So I think you have to, again, have empathy for your friend, because maybe they don't know they're doing something wrong, but you can tell them what they're doing and that it's wrong and that they should listen to you, because you're going to take them down the good way and everybody will be happy.
What's another tip that you have from parents to help their kids right from wrong?
To really pay attention how they talk to their children. Parents can say the wrong words and make kids feel very anxious. So, for example, like if you're doing something wrong, instead of saying, Jaxson, stop doing that, you're being dumb. How about, Jaxson, come sit down with me and let's figure out a better way to do this. That way you feel confident and the parents are speaking to you in a way that you don't feel like you're anxious. So parents need to really adjust the way they speak to their kids and make sure that they are using good words and very positive words with their kids.
Right and wrong is so black and white. All of us have different thoughts, and that's not black and white. So how do you think that works?
Well, that's a really good point that you bring up. And I think it's important that we are respectful for how people think, because we don't all think the same. We all think differently, but that's what makes us different from each other. But the best thing you can do is try to work through your differences and find a place where you're happy and I'm happy. But I shouldn't be mad at you, Jaxson, if you like chocolate ice cream and I like vanilla ice cream. We like different things, but that doesn't mean we both like ice cream, right? So it's important that we understand how each other thinks and be okay with that, as long as neither of us are physically or emotionally hurting each other. But the fact that you think differently than me is what makes us different people. And I think that's beautiful and wonderful. We just have to be respectful of those different opinions that each of us have and find a common ground.
I agree. Everyone's important. I know you're the owner of Social Express, and I love it. It's because it's so awesome.
Thank you.
For people that don't know about it, what is it, Mark?
First of all, I'm so happy that you love it, and I made it for people just like you who are growing up and learning all about different emotions and different social situations and how you best solve problems. Social Express is a really fun, animated, like a cartoon that you would watch on the weekends, and it's all about helping kids and young adults make the best decision when they're faced with a problem in social situations with their friends. So Social Express is stories of a group of characters named Emma, Zach, Sam, Katie, and they are all doing different things throughout their day, and problems happen just like we have in our everyday lives with our friends. And then you make the choice and create your own adventure on how you want to solve the problem. So it's just a really fun and engaging animated program to teach social and emotional learning skills.
Yeah, I love it. I'm going to play with it after this. For my friends watching, what is Social Express age groups for?
It can be for kids that are in preschool, so maybe 4-year-olds, and it can go all the way up to some people that are in their 20s that really need more help because they may have a diagnosis of autism or something else that they need more help with their social skills. So we work with kids really young and really old.
And it's a fun cartoon. It's like a video game.
Yeah, it's fun to play. I still play it. I love it. And I am so happy that you are playing it and you love it, and it's wonderful.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today. Bye.
Bye, Jaxson. Thanks for having me.
Welcome. Bye. Thank you so much for watching me on an episode of Feel Good with Jaxson. And I hope you learned a lot about right from wrong. And I loved it because you taught me. And before you leave, I have a challenge for you guys at home. Tell your parents one mistake you made and what you learned about it. Now we're going to leave. Bye. Catch me next time. Talk about our feelings on Feel Good with Jaxson. Bye.
Hey guys, this is Feel Good with Jaxson. And guess what? I'm Jaxson. Is it Pepper Pig or Peppa Pig?
Peppa Pig.
Peppa Pig.
And I got one right here to show you.